Hi champions, welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. We're halfway through the week working on our context clues or word meaning so that we can become better readers and have a bigger vocabulary. That is important. We're going to expand our vocabulary. Don't forget to use this information as you go through to help you remember the different ways that we can decipher what a word will mean by being a good detective. All right, so today we're going to do something a little differently. We're still going to find the definition of the bolded word, but I'm going to write the clues this time. So, there is a book belonging to you in the classroom if you would like to pick it up before you go home. Definition belonging. There is a book belonging to you in the classroom if you would like to pick it up before you go home. Definition of belonging. There is a book, so belonging would be that belongs, that is owned by you. Let me space out my letters. Is owned by you. It's your belonging, it's your property, right? So some of the clues that led me to that, book to you, right? The teacher, someone said it belongs to you. Pick it up before you go home because it's yours. So there is a book that is owned by you. That works. If you own something, it's yours. It's your property. Feel free to try some of these as we go along. Your definition might not be exactly the same as mine, but as long as it has the same general meaning, then you did a great job. Number 2, my friend from Brazil really suffers from the cold during our cold Chicago winters. Suffers. So I'm thinking about Brazil. I know it's hot there. It looks like she or he just moved to Chicago where it's cold in the wintertime. So I would imagine suffering is struggling or not doing well. The clues I just told you was I know that Brazil is hot. Even if you didn't know Brazil was hot, it keeps talking about cold, and we know that cold is something that is sometimes hard to deal with. Number 3, the old woman offered the young boy some money to cut her grass, but he refused, saying it was unnecessary to pay him. Definition of offered. So, the old woman blanked the young boy some money. So she was going to give him. Offered is to give. But he refused, saying he didn't need to be paid. Seems like he's trying to do a good deed. So what clues in the sentence led you to your definition? The boy refused, and it said in here he didn't need pay. When you offer, you give, or say you'll do something. Try number 4. The players were obviously rattled by the quick goal scored against them and took time to settle down. So, I'm looking here. Looks like it's playing soccer or something. A quick goal, I know from soccer that if someone scores something really quick on you, you're kind of in shock and confused about what happened. And it says they took time to settle down. So they needed to settle down from their shock. That's happened to me before playing soccer. When someone scores really fast, you just look around and you're like, what just happened? Number 5. A mighty cheer burst from the crowd. You might know this one. So it sounds like they might be at a game or something. Mighty might be loud or, exciting. And the clues there were cheer and burst. And you're at some sort of sporting event or something where it talks about a crowd. Mighty. Full of strength, too. It wasn't a quiet cheer. It was really loud. Last one. A century ago, cars were made one at a time by half a dozen people working on them. century. Cars are made one at a time. Half a dozen. I know that dozen is 12, so half a dozen would be 12 divided by 2. 6 people working on them. Well, that doesn't seem like something we do nowadays. I think nowadays we have machines that work on cars. So century must be long ago. Even if you didn't know, a century is 100 years ago, but you don't need to know that exactly. That works. If I just said long ago, cars were made one at a time, half a dozen people working on them, right? But the real definition for century is 100 years ago. So the clue in there was ago. Whenever you see the word ago, you know it was, once upon a time, long time ago. So it's in the past. And it talks about things that aren't very relevant right now. Okay, your assignment for Wednesday is to listen to Lotus and Feather again, a very sweet story. Draw your T-chart. Here are the words: deserted, tottered, blissfully, astonished, and hovered. Again, I have the times next to it. Tell me what you think the word means and any clues that helped you figure it out. And we will go over this tomorrow. So make sure you draw your little T-chart and we will go over these together. Great job today.